What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
Hello everyone and welcome into the show. Welcome in each and every one of you creatures that has protection. I don't know what you need to be protected from, but boy, are you hard to deal with, right? You've got your special bubble around you and you've got that protection from some things, and I welcome you in. I welcome you into the show, each and every one of you. This is Hunt the Week. It is your weekly Magic the Gathering podcast about the Arena Gauntlet League that we know, love, and play in. This is Pioneer Masters Week 2. Who's excited for it? Who's ready for it? We're actually going to get to talk a little Pioneer Masters this week. I haven't been able to touch upon it. We had the special award show last week, and before that, we didn't really know what was going on, right? It was the kickoff show. We are now 2 weeks in. We kind of get an idea of what's going on. I'm excited to talk about it. I hope you're excited to hear about it, but who am I? I am your host with the most, your John DeMarco, your Goku or Go Home, the pride of Mardu. I am a 4-time top 8er, a 2-time league winner. And one time I lost to Jordan J. Mtron 2 weeks in a row. Told him I wouldn't play him anymore for the rest of the league. That's right. I do have a special rule that if someone beats me twice in a league, I won't play them anymore. In my opinion, it just tells me that whatever they got, it's good against me, and I don't want to feed them wins. It all came back to Andrew Mopu Dofu long time ago, like Innistrad League, Crimson Vow, I think. I think I played him 3 times, and he beat me every time. And I was like, I am helping this guy top 8 by just losing to him again and again. Not on purpose, obviously, but you got something that's not good against me. And Jordan, you're great. You're a great player. Love playing you. I have fun games. But we got to take a little break, which is a shame, because I like my 2-color deck, and this is probably the week to play him. Oh no, can't play Jordan anymore. And you know what? It hurts. It hurts bad to be able to say that I can't play Jordan. That being said, week 6 rolls around. I need a game. Jordan's still around. I'm still around. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? But we got a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and let's open the gates.
Open the gates!
That's right, we are in Pioneer Masters Week 2. As I record, it is about 5:52 p.m., and this is your top 8. In first place, Jamie W., Jamie 8-2, Sawyer T, Soy Boy 8-2, Jordan MJ Mtron 8-2, Jack H. Rakic 8-2, Evan L, Evan 7-2, Joaquin E, Diabolic Machine 7-3, Ryan M, Rern 7-3, and did I miss one? I did. Chris York on games. Look who's back at better than ever. 7-3. So no big runaways, no 9-1s, no 10-0s, 8-2s, and 7-3 right now seems to be good enough. Of course, Frisky Hobbit, Rezra, Monkey Mage, they're not far behind. Oompa Loompa, Why Not Rock, the names you know you love. I see Zach Carr, Player of the Year, sitting down there. Any 5-0s this week? No 5-0s on the week. Oh, wow. Well, that's why we have no 10-0s. No one's 5-0. At least not this week. I think we had some last week. In fact, I know one of them's coming on the show a little bit later. How did I do? I went 3-2. Let's talk about Pioneer Masters a little bit. I don't know if I'm enjoying it. I like the design of the league. The design of the league is great. But I just don't like Pioneer Masters. I don't think Pioneer Masters is a very fun format to draft. I drafted it 5 or 6 times the first week was out. I haven't really touched it since. I'm not that into it, and I feel like I get it. Usually the league makes those formats feel a lot better, and I like those leagues. Yeah, still, even like Bloomborough. Didn't like the Bloomborough set. Bloomborough League was real fun, though. We had all the fun boons, all the good stuff. It was a good time. I like the rotating stuff each week. I had some really fun games this week, and I'm playing some really fun and cool games. But my problem is with Pioneer Masters as a set. Right? And we're going into Devotion Week, which is the 2-color week, which I also think is a bit weird. It's not that it seems out of place. To me, it seems out of place. And even though I agree with it. I do think that it's basically 4 and 5 color decks out there. I'm playing a 4-color deck right now. And I do think gates are going to be too strong and not super fun to play against. They're already not super fun to play against, right? But I don't even know that that is my biggest issue. This set brings back a bunch of things that Wizards doesn't print anymore. And that's my biggest qualm is like things with protection, things with hexproof. I'm playing Esper, and I'm playing my opponent, and I'm doing great. I've stabilized. They play Blood Baron of Viscopa, which now has protection from 2 of my colors. And all I've got left is blue. And I bounce that thing for 4 turns, and I can't do anything about it. That's my Pioneer Masters thing. Is I don't love the Pioneer Masters-iness, which is a shame, because I was super hyped for this format, actually. I really love this time in Magic. I like a lot of these cards. And I totally understand why Wizards doesn't print a lot of this kind of stuff anymore. So I don't know that the 5-color stuff, that's not even my biggest problem with it. It's just like the design stuff that has over time been taken out because it's not super fun play patterns. Although, again, gates are a problem. I think it's weird that we only restrict stuff on weeks 3 and 6. I think Johnny said it early, is that if we're going to do this, then we should go all in and do stuff on weeks 1 and 4 and on weeks 2 and 5, which I think actually was probably the way to do it. Like you tie in the Planeswalker sheet. Weeks 1 and 4, you get a random uncommon Planeswalker from or get 3 of them. Why not? Give them those weeks. And you kind of match the sheet and what's going on. Then weeks 2 and 5, it's the spell sheet. Maybe you get some random spells or a spell payoff or I don't know, man. I don't design the leagues, but I don't know. I feel like if we're going to do something special on these weeks, and again, I understand why we're doing it, and I agree with it, I think that is a good thing to be there. But I would just like a little bit more consistency, or I don't know. I think the league's design is great. I love the Planeswalker stuff. I love the packs you pick. It's been super interesting. I went with the -4 this week. I think the negative... I'm not doing the -1. I've kind of been doing the -3s to try to get the most value out of my packs. I don't know if it's working out or not. But I lost Trison Strixhaven. I saw some bomb Strixhaven packs. Adam S. Wisma, I'm looking at you. But I did do +2 to get up high enough. I think I got to 5, so I could -4. And again, I got to add 2 packs to my pool. I didn't realize that it was... Chandra had this ability. It's cool that they have different abilities each week. That's great design. I love the design of the league. That is not my issue with this league. And I'm not trying to be negative about the league. I'm not. Because I am having a good time. And I like playing my stuff. I just don't like Pioneer Masters. I think Pioneer Masters is just a poorly designed set. And we're all kind of just dealing with it right now and waiting for the next thing. But I think the league design has been really good. I like the planes we're going to. I love Strixhaven. I got to enjoy it. I'm excited for what Neo can bring. Neo was actually the pack I threw back on my -4. And we're going into 2-color week. And I was already feeling really good about my black-blue. I am playing 4 colors, but, if we got all these gates, it's all splashes. It's mostly a black-blue deck. So I got my rollover, and I had 9 or 10 blue-black cards in it. So I'm going blue-black. I've been doing my practice games. I am ready for 2-color week. I actually hope that maybe it'll help me out because I really like my 2-color deck. And I'm not trying to force some 4-color nonsense. But we'll see how the week goes. This is a week I think a lot of people are expecting to underplay. A lot of people don't want to play their matches on 2 colors. I'm going to wait and see. Again, I like my deck. If I get to my 3 games and I'm 3-0 or 2-1, I might play them all. I feel good about it. And I want those Neo packs. Neo's a good... I think it's the strongest of the 3 on a whole. Strixhaven packs, you can get some nutty Strixhaven packs. I'm seeing 3 mythic packs. I'm seeing 4 rare packs, right? But there's just so much fun stuff in Neo. Neo's such a good set that losing here, I don't think it's going to be the worst thing in the world. Again, I think the league has been designed great. I love everything that's going on. I'm just not a big set fan of the Wizard side of this one. But, well, what can you do? You play your matches, you hold your head high, and you try to make that top 8 at the end. And I had on a guest this week that knows all about doing that. Let's go ahead and awaken some things in ourselves.
This better not awaken anything in me.
That's right. This week I talked to none other than Matthias H. Rezra, our winner of Foundation Leagues. I love getting the winners on the podcast. I think that's a real fun tradition that I think has been going on since like the start of the show. And those episodes always feel real good, right? And this one was no different. This was special. Rezra's been in the league for a while now. Second top 8. You know he's been looking to get his name on the scoreboard. And I talked to him not less than 24 hours after he won. So there's a lot of excitement in here. Great talk. I love talking to him. Go ahead and listen to my interview with Matthias now. All right, everyone. Join this week as we awaken some things inside of us with none other than Matthias H, a.k.a. Rezra. Welcome to the show, Matthias.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, happy to have you. And we're not just having you on to have you. You earned your way on with your big league win for Foundations League. Congratulations. We bow before you and your greatness. You shine brighter than the North Star, Matthias. I hope you know that.
Well, that's quite a compliment to hear.
Well, hey, I mean, second Mega Draft? This was second Mega Draft? Third Mega Draft?
Yes, second Mega Draft.
So the first Mega Draft, you come in, you've got that 25-5 deck. We talked about it last week on the AGL Awards. Mega Draft doesn't go your way. You come back one more time prepared, and you stomp the competition with Is It Commander Brawl Conquest. How does it feel?
I'm very happy about it. I mean, a part of me still doesn't believe it really happened, to be honest. But when I saw what the format was, I was like, oh man, is it really gonna happen? Is it really gonna brawl? And then the wheel stopped on it. And I thought, oh man, that's gonna be an amazing format. I don't care what I'm gonna end up with what result, but man, just for being a brawl draft, it's gonna be such fun.
Yeah, brawl drafts are a real good time, and you had a fun set of packs. You navigated the mega draft well. We're gonna get to all that, but I want to start a little bit before the mega draft. I want to start in Foundations, just League, straight up. How was your Foundations League? Did you enjoy it? Did you like the Planes Chase element? How did you feel about Foundations?
Yeah. So it felt quite basic, especially in the beginning or for the first few planes, since we came from Foundation straight to Call Time, which is a pretty weak set in comparison. Yeah. And after that we had Eldraine, which also wasn't the strongest. Nope. So the first 3 weeks were kind of like, hopefully you don't lose much here, otherwise, well, the first week you could lose because you got strong packs, but in the weeks 2 and 3 you didn't want to lose because it kind of made your deck worse in the long run, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I went 0-5 on Eldraine. It wasn't great, Rezra. It wasn't great.
Yeah, and I started out with a Jeskai build. I tried out Rite of the Dragoncaller. Okay. I left it in the deck for like 2 games, then I scrapped that idea, went straight Boros aggro with my 4 Burst Lightnings and Prideful Parents, and that worked out well.
Yeah. And nobody's really expecting the... I can't tell you how many hands I keep where I play my land, and I'm like, as long as I don't see a mountain on the other side of the battlefield, I'm going to be fine. And then it goes like mountain 1 drop, and I go, yeah, that's why you don't keep hands like this. That's why you don't go, yeah, I'll not do anything till turn 4. It's fine. He's not going to be fast. And then you come out of the gate swinging with Boros aggro, and you're going to win some games. You really are.
But for the most part, Plane Chase was quite fun, except for me and my deck in week 5, where we went to Bloomburrow, because I had to cut like 7 or 8 humans from my deck, which really, really made it worse.
Yeah.
Very strong cards that were left by the wayside, and my record showed it that week. I only played 4 matches, even though the comeback backs were stronger than Brothers were.
Yeah.
I still opted to go all my games before then just play 4 games in Bloomburrow and then 6 in the last week, I think. So that my deck is at its full power.
Yeah, which makes sense. Normally, it's the thing is like normally you don't want to underplay. I feel like underplay in Planes Chase Foundations kind of made sense. I feel like most people were underplaying most weeks, unless there was a week where you really liked the pack, or like you said, you lost a lot of humans. Maybe if you didn't lose a lot of humans, you would try to play out those matches. But underplay, which is a strategy I never like to tell people to do, was like the strategy to do in Foundations League, which I think is very interesting.
I mean, at least until you saw which was the next plane coming up, so you can then decide what was the best way going forward, which would help your deck the most.
Hmm. And even with losing all your humans in week 5 and having to make up 6 games on week 6, which is also something I never like. Don't underplay and don't underplay
I
going into week 6, right?
I
Uh,
think it was 6. I have to look it up.
I think you might be right. I think week 5 was maybe not. I there's so many
No,
weeks.
I only played 5 games in the last week, so I did play all my 5 games in.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the humans, we got them out there. You make the mega draft. What was your final record going into the mega draft?
I was 20 and 10. I barely slipped in, so I was eighth, a little bit ahead. I mean, 1% ahead of Ryan.
Okay.
I was 20 and 9, um, around third or fourth place, and I asked Josiah to if he wanted to play. We couldn't quite match up time-wise, and due to the holidays and the time difference. And then I just woke up at 4, 5 in the morning, looked if he was online, asked him, "You ready to go now?" He said, "Yeah." And then I just played. I mean, it's probably not one of the wiser decisions waking up in the middle of the night and then playing your last league match, potentially losing and then not getting into the top 8. But I
Oh,
mean, it worked out in the end.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a lot of luck to get there. And it takes a lot of luck to make it and lock it in. Yeah, like you said, it's not your first mega draft, but it's one that you want to take home. What helped you make top 8? Do you think the aggro deck was just something that people weren't ready for? Or did you have like some really strong bombs in there? I mean, the 4 burn spells that can go face. I mean, that alone that must have finished off so many games.
oh yeah, quite a number. People often think, okay, he has one, maybe he has a second one if they don't look at your pool, and then there's the third,
Yep.
and they don't expect the fourth one. But there were control games where like I dealt where dealt 16 damage just with burst lightnings to the face.
Oh my God.
Where it was like a board stall, nothing happening, and every end step I just go 5 mana, ping your face for 4.
Oh, it's because like the first time you do that, you're like, "What's this guy doing? Like he's crazy." And then you do it again, and you're like, "Wait a minute." And then you do it again, you're like, "Oh no, how many does he have?" Like he has a plan, and this board stall, I got to figure out a way to like not die, but you can't attack because then you take more damage, but you can't sit there and do nothing because you're getting burned in the face over and over again. Uh,
But yeah, cards that really helped me along were the Burst Lightning. The one of Heroic Reinforcements really helped
oh yeah.
seal some of the games. And what what also helped was lots of luck on my part and some of my opponents struggling with their mana, so Boros can shine to its fullest.
Yep.
And what helped my mental was certainly a nice Spotify playlist that was helping a lot.
I need to get into that. I've noticed that a lot of people will listen to music and stuff while they play their matches. And I don't do that. I kind of just sit there quietly. I gotta get into this whole get yourself pumped up with some music thing. I've noticed the winners and good players do it. And it's something that I would like to do. I gotta start doing this.
I mean, you just need to find the music you're really getting hyped by. So
What music is on your playlist that helps you go to top 8? What music gets you hyped to play Magic?
it's mostly metal.
I love it though. Like what we talk? We talking like 80s Metallica? We talking I wish I knew more about metal, or I would be throwing out band names. We talking Master of Puppets? Or are we talking more Slayer? Or are we talking is this more modern? Is this like Austrian
No,
metal that I've
no,
never heard of.
no, not really. I don't think there are big Austrian metal bands. At least I haven't heard of them so far. Uh, I mean, there are some European ones, but I mean, pretty much everyone knows Rammstein.
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
some do. Some know Lords of the Lost, Powerwolf,
Mm.
Sabaton. So
Pow-
I really like the more. So Metallica is also really great, but I like the mostly the faster stuff. The where it's like a blend of techno and metal, where it really goes fast and hard,
I
but
like
not
this.
drum and bass style. Still in the metal genre, so something like symphonic metal and
Ooh,
power metal.
I love it. If you like metal, hit up Matthias and you guys talk about some power metal, some speed metal, but not that drum and bass metal. He doesn't want that. He wants the riffs, and he wants to still feel the power of the metal. Well, hey,
But
it
yeah,
helps. It helps you get to the Mega Draft, your playlist, your deck. You're getting your second Mega Draft, and here we have Brawl, Conquest, Mega Draft. So what? When you saw that pop up, it sounds like you were excited for it. But did you have a game plan? Did that make you think, oh, I need to draft differently? Like this is a different thing? How did you manage that going into the Mega Draft?
so I really like to play Brawl if I'm not drafting on
Really?
Arena. Yeah, I like it. It's way more interesting for me to do that to get dailies in than playing standard or any other constructed format, in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
I like the one of nature, the singleton.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I was really hyped to see it pop up. And the second moment, as you mentioned, was like, so okay, what does it mean? How do I go about this? And here's I have to shout out Lotte. She really helped me prep. We did some
Oh yeah.
practice drafts. We went over the possible commander options because we were supplied with the 20 uncommon commanders from DMU, and going into that, we already eliminate. We didn't want it. We found out that we not necessarily wanted to go into green because the commander options there were pretty bad.
Mm.
So that's why I steered very far away from green. And like in the first practice drafts, as mentioned in the rules already, yeah, picking duplicates doesn't really help, and
No.
it should it really helps if you can pick and force your lane, because then nobody picks up your dual cards,
Hmm.
multicolor cards, because they can't really get them, because there's a very limited number of free color commanders, and most of them are at Mythic, so it's very easy to get the cards past you want to get past, and you can wheel often very strong cards if you know that no one else is in those colors, way more than typical, because splashing isn't really an option.
Yeah. It's interesting how pretty much I think Emmett was the only person who had two different color decks that I saw because he had a three-color commander and then he would side into a two-color commander, just losing one of the three colors. Um, but for the most part, it did look that like once you're in a lane, you're in that lane. Like you don't really have much of a choice to move around too much. You know, like you said, no splashing. Um, all these good cards are going late because once you grab one, you know, you don't need another one. Neither does anybody else. So it's a different kind of draft for sure.
Yeah,
Did you?
certainly.
So both of your commanders were the DMU commanders, right? You played.
Yes.
So you knew these commanders going in. Um, did you have kind of an inkling that you wanted to play? Is it because these are some strong commanders, or did you just kind of luck out and be like, "Hey, I'm getting fed the colors that I need to be, and I'm gonna commit to these is it commanders.
So going in, I was trying to be somewhere in Grixis and go from there.
Oh, nice. I like that.
And I started out with Rakdos, but midway through DMU, and not really any good black cards were flowing anymore. So I just said, okay, let's pick up the red blue kicker cards from DMU.
Yep.
There are some good ones, and try to go from there. And it turned out pretty well.
Is that so? Is that the moment where you knew, like, hey, it's going well, and I'm doing the right thing, or were you ever past a big bomb or anything that made you feel like, oh yeah, we're doing it?
I don't really know. I have to look at my deck again, but I don't think I've played too many rares. But yeah, one of those signs for me were stuff like the what's called the 2 mana flyer from DMU with kicker red. You discard your hand, draw two
Oh
cards,
yeah, that guy's fun.
and yeah, I mean basically I don't really see. I mean, there's one card I know that's 3 steps ahead, but that's way later down the line.
Hmm.
And other than that, I think that's mostly commons and uncommons. Yeah.
Lots of good. I'm looking at it now. It's lots of great interactions. A lot of spells, right? You're spell slinging.
Oh yeah.
You're playing Balmor, who cares about you casting instants and sorceries, and one, two, three, four, five, six one drops. Like I said, tons of removal. You got lightning strike, you got some bounce, you got some burn, you got some counters, some tap down stuff. Looks like a real fun deck to play. I mean, this thing looks really great.
And one of the hidden gems for this deck certainly were the Nimble Brigand and the Acquisition Octopus, just keeping the party going. Because I had so many times where I attacked with the 2/2 Octopus, my opponent had a blocker, I had Balmer out, and they thought, okay, he's probably having a trick, but I can't let him keep on drawing cards.
Yeah,
But if I block and he has a trick, he still draws a card, and Kindle terrorism really shown in the deck. So giving a creature +2/+0, trample, drawing a card, and scrying, and first strike, that's a good card for 1 mana when you have a Balmor out. And
yeah,
yeah,
that is
really liked it.
fantastic. And your other card, your other commander was
Najal,
Najal, the
something like that.
something runner, the storm runner. Um,
Yes.
and I'm guessing you didn't really change the deck too much between commanders.
I basically cut the 1-drop flyers and put in a trick shot. That's
Okay.
basically it. A bigger spell, so it's more worthwhile to copy it, and the board wide pump doesn't work because there's no board wide pump. I don't need the 1 mana
Yep.
flyers
Yeah,
anymore.
you don't need the little guys. So you take it all the way to the finals. You play against Evan C. Peas of Crab, two-time winner in the finals match, and we've been watching Evan play his other matches. He was followed early on. He's playing Rakdos. You're playing Is It, and you take him down. How does it feel to win your first league, Matthias? Let everyone know how it feels to be the newest winner of the AGL.
Well, yeah, I was. So it was kind of sinking in that I had a chance to win this whole thing when I was 1 game up in the finals. I I thought to myself, okay, I'm in a good position. I have a good deck. I can win this. I have all these chances. And after
Hmm.
when finally there was the victory screen, my heart started pumping, my hands started shaking. It was like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. My body was racing, and it was very hard to describe. It's like all these endorphins just coursing through your body at the moment's notice, like fireworks lighting up in your brain.
Yes.
It was very, yeah. I was very happy. I just muted myself, did some silent screams to not disturb the neighbors, and yeah.
Well, a big congratulations to you. Like I said before, you had the 25-5 deck. You had this great league before. You made it to the mega draft. It didn't go your way. I know that, when that was your first league, right? So when you come into the league and you do well and you want your name to be known, my first league, I got second place in Strixhaven, got to the end of the mega draft, didn't win. And I never felt like I had really made my place in the league until I won a league, right? Like, because that's you saying, I can do it. I can go all the way. I can not only make the mega draft, I am a good enough Magic player, a good enough drafter, a good enough deck builder. Um, I can win a league. Um, and now your name is entrenched in stone on the website. You come on the podcast, you get your emote or your sound thing. Um, Everyone knows who you are, and no one can ever say, "Well, Matthias, this that." You go, "What, you mean league winner, Matthias? Matthias Foundation's league winner?" Because that's what how you should be addressing him now. You know. I always see on the server
Uh,
you're always doing drafts. You know, you're always hanging out and doing drafts. You're a very high level player, and you put in the work, right? You put in a lot of work, and it shows off. You know, this is where that work pays off. You get your league win, your player of the year invite, and you get the respect of everybody for being top dog, Matthias. You're top dog right now. You know, I want you to know that.
Uh, I would have loved for me, for my MKM records being my first league. Sadly, it was my second. I
Oh,
started
was
with
it?
Khans.
Damn, damn.
I flew under the radar there. I went 7 and 11,
Oh,
and but yeah, I picked up. I learned a lot from me hanging out with Richard and Raf, and yeah, that helped me a lot in that league. But I think it also helped me a lot in the long run in this league as well,
yeah.
overall.
Well, yeah, I see you in there, and what better people to learn from than Player of the Year Richard and Raph, who will make Player of the Year, and we won't talk about what happens after he makes it. Um, but, but you are uh, currently in Pioneer Masters. We got to talk a little bit about Pioneer Masters League. We want to know. I want to know, how does the Foundation Planes Chase winner, how are you liking Pioneer Masters? And do you have any tips or strategies for this league? Because I feel like this is kind of a weird one, and there are strategies to be had. Uh, what are your thoughts on that?
Uh, to be honest, I haven't played this week since I put
You're
most
busy.
focus on prepping.
Yes.
Um, I had a great start with a 5-0 last week.
This guy. I mean, come on. Give us a break. Give someone else a chance, Matthias, please.
Um, but I mean, the easiest suggestion is sadly one that's there's a lot of luck involved, but opening a lot of gates ablaze and district guides,
Yeah,
those really help.
that'll help you.
Es- Especially if you want to go the 5-color soup game plan.
I want to go 5 color soup, but my fixing is so bad, Matthias. It's so bad. I'm on 3 color mediocre instead of 5 color soup, you know? 3 color broth is what I'm gonna call it. It's not good. Uh,
But yeah,
uh,
I think since I haven't played this week with all those spells running around and less planeswalkers, I can't really say what the meta looks like. But I do like the fuse cards, especially if you can play both sides of them.
yes.
And yeah, just find a way. I kind of feel thus far, since there is no not the critical mass of Boros cards, there is not really the fun police, as I like to call it, around to
Yeah.
stop all the dirtling decks. So if you can find a way to outvalue your opponent, I think that's the way to go this time around, at least
I
so
I
far.
think you're right. Here's the thing is I think you're right because I'm trying to play a value deck that doesn't have treasure cruise and it doesn't feel good. You know, like it's hard to outvalue people when they play treasure cruise. This seems like a treasure cruise format. At least that's what it's felt like to me. Is I'm going to draw 1,000 cards and I'm going to kill you with cards
To be
uh,
fair, I managed to draw 27 cards in a turn in a
in a
feature match
turn.
nonetheless.
Oh my gosh.
I managed to ultimate chase memory adapt and drew some extra cards after.
Just a couple
Yeah,
extra cards.
and then I had to stop because I had like 4 cards in library. So yeah,
Yeah, drawing cards is real fun until you get to about, 10 or so cards left, and then it's kind of a problem. And then you really got to think about how much you want to draw those cards and how important are they.
but yeah, as you mentioned, Treasure Cruise really strong, especially if you have spells this week. There's lots in the graveyard to fuel it. But yeah, let's see how this week goes for me. And yeah,
Hey,
I could tell you probably more after, but
That's okay. When I post this on Thursday, or before that, if you do play, shoot me a message. I'll add in your addendum. What did he think? He loved it. He hated it. He didn't like it. And then of course next week you got that five color soup deck. Can't play it next week, Matthias. That's kind of a tough one for you, right? Like
Yeah,
uh, that makes it tough.
to be fair, I hope I can lose this week so I can lose a bit this week so I can present a deck that fits the regulation.
Yeah, if
Otherwise,
you
it's gonna be really hard since I have like 15 multicolor cards.
I wonder if you go 5-0 again, and I hope you do because you're a great player and it'd be fun. What you would even do? Because if you couldn't even build it, it would be like, yeah, there's 30 lands in there. I don't know. Like I gotta do something. But like, yeah, you're right. Like at this point, you may not be able to build a two color 60 card deck because you haven't opened in many packs or any packs at all. This guy just keeps on winning.
Yeah, it seems that way. I hope I can keep it up as long as possible.
Hey, I hope so too. We'll get you back on the show soon for going 30-0 in
I think that's a bit away.
uh well, Matthias, again, I want to congratulate you on your league win. You're a super nice guy. You've been on the podcast before. You're a great player. Again, you deserve the win. You played hard. You got there. Big congratulations to you. And I think, again, we were talking a little beforehand. I think the first Austrian winner. I don't know that that's true. Lata or somebody, please fact check me. But I don't know that we've ever had an Austrian winner. I mean, we don't get a ton of European winners. You know, it's usually America, it's usually Canada. It's always really cool when that gets stolen away and the title's taken across the world by somebody else. So big congratulations to you, Matthias.
Thank you again.
But we have your league questions. Are you ready for your league questions?
Yes, of course.
Our first question comes from Miranda L. Black Canary, the Great Watcher. Favorite Brawl commander ever? You said you like to play Brawl. I know you're a Brawl guy. What's your favorite Brawl commander?
As mentioned before, I'm probably gonna get a bit of heat for my answer, but I like to play Vedrick and not just any Vedrick. I like to play Vedrick Storm with 1,000 Year Storm in it.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
So basically, just sticking my commander, protecting it as long as possible, all the pump spells in one turn, and then slinging spells left and right, drawing my whole library 3, 4 times with all the shuffle back effects, and then killing my opponent with like 200, 400 storm.
Can you
But
really
that's the
get to like
exception.
hundreds of Storm? Can you really get that far?
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my God. What's your favorite spell to copy 200 or 400 times?
I mean, the easiest is probably just Grape Shot,
Sure, sure. Yes.
but things like Brass's Bounty for like getting all the treasure tokens and hitting a token limit is fun. Or I mean, if you're that high, Mind's Desire is always nice.
Yeah.
Or Flick the Coin, very nice.
Ah,
Draw all the cards, all the treasures, lots of damage.
this
I mean,
sounds nice.
I've drawn myself to death with the deck many times,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's a fun way to go out if you storm yourself to death by drawing cards.
I love it. So you're a kind of an is it? Do you feel like you're kind of an is it player anyway? So that kind of helped you in this draft, where it's like you like to play spells, you like to spell sling. This is kind of your wheelhouse. This mega draft deck you had.
Typically, I'm more like in the Sultai camp, so green,
The
blue, black.
value, yeah, value graveyard, draw cards, kill stuff.
But if there's a spell deck out there and it's somewhat viable, it's always fun to play that one as well.
Oh, well, that does sound super fun. You said you already know you're going to get heat for your answer. I love it. Our next question comes from Evan C. Peas of Crab, who you took down in the finals. Sorry you didn't get there, Evan, but man, you guys had some great games and your deck looked really fun too. What plane did you really, really wish we could go to in Foundations but did not?
Uh, so I had to look up every plane again since I didn't really do it the first time anyway. I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, let's go there. I was just drifting along. Um, But yeah, after looking it up, would have been fun since I like strong sets would have been Zendika with the kicker, so we would have gotten
Yeah,
MH3
that would
boosters.
have been fun.
Or
Writhing Chrysalis everywhere.
or if it wasn't in the finale, then DMU just a normal Brawl week.
Yeah, that would have been a really fun one because people would have had so many weird commanders at that point that you'd be seeing around. I think that would have been really cool.
Also, what I would have loved to happen would have been one of the phenomena, which sadly didn't come up.
Yeah, I really
They
miss
were
that.
teased and speculated and presented as this great thing, and then they didn't show up, which was kind of like,
Yeah, it's not fun, right? Everyone wanted the cool phenomena, and they're all cool, but yeah, they didn't happen. And when we do it again, I'm sure they'll figure out a way to make something like that happen.
I hope so.
Our next question comes from Dirk Bagan Blue. Um, I'm sorry about this one to everybody out there who has to listen. What he just said also. What's your opinion on Austrian Volksmusik? Start there.
No, just no.
No?
I,
Okay.
I'm not a fan of country, which is basically or country slash folk music. So I don't really like Austrian folk music either. Yeah, no, I'm more, as mentioned before, I'm more the metalhead.
Hey,
That's my favorite. That's the music I like to hear way
that's
more.
that's fair. I understand. And Dirk's follow-up, also Schnitzel, Knodel, or Schmarm. And he said he looks forward to me pronouncing each. I'm sure at least two of them are wrong. Uh,
No, Schnitzel was pretty good.
that was the one I had a shot at. That was the one.
Uh, Knödel, kinda, and
Sure.
Schmarrn was pretty good again.
Hey, some
So two out of
Schmarm.
three. But uh, I'd have to go. Even though I like sweet main dishes,
Hmm.
I do have to go with Schnitzel on this one. I like just a just a classic Viennese Schnitzel with lemon slice and cranberry jam with parsley potatoes on the side. That's that's just great.
That sounds wonderful. It's early. We're recording early. It's 9 o'clock on Sunday. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. That sounds amazing. Uh, and let's finish it off with a food question from you know who it is. Richard K. Preacher wants to know. And again, this is a good buddy of yours. You guys are always doing drafts. I see you guys in the server all the time hanging out. In honor of Balmore, what is your favorite poultry dish?
Uh, well, I think that's kind of cheating, but just substitute the typical veal in the schnitzel with poultry.
So, so that's a flattened poultry that is breaded and fried.
Yeah, basically.
Sounds great.
Or like just fried chicken in general is also great, but not. We do have a KFC, not many. We do
Yeah.
have some, but like there's So now I have to think what's the English word for it. Like not like almost like a farm, but like so
Oh,
farm where they have their own like restaurant attached.
okay. So I think
There's a own name for it in German, but I don't think it translates well. Uh,
I don't know that we have that. I mean, we have like farm to table, but that just means like it came from the farm to the table. Um,
but yeah, those guys often do fried chicken if they have chickens themselves, if they
mhm.
raise them, and those are by far the best and juiciest when you can get them fresh from there
That
and
sounds
eat them at
amazing.
right in the countryside with the overlooking the fields and all that stuff.
Oh, that sounds beautiful and it sounds delicious. Like,
Especially if you went there 4 hours beforehand hiking, and that's the stop, that's the rest.
oh,
That's great then.
that sounds like the meal of a champion, Matthias. Did you do anything to celebrate your win, or are you going to do anything to celebrate your league win?
Uh, well, not really. I don't think so. I mean, I promised one of my friends that I invite him. Since I won the money, now I can
Got
spend
the
some.
money.
I said I'd treat him to a dinner,
There you go.
which is the kind of the go-to thing between us if one of us gets a pay raise or gets lucky and wins or whatever, gets money in some way.
Yeah.
One guy treats the other to the dinner,
Well,
which
hey,
is fun ritual.
it sounds fun, and you deserve that win. You deserve to treat your friend to a dinner. Go out and celebrate.
No,
Enjoy
dinner.
Duna.
Dinner
What's
kebab.
Oh, a kebab. Oh,
Yes.
okay, a kebab. But a kebab could be for dinner to make it not sound like I said something wrong, right? uh,
All good.
Matthias, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I want to thank you for being in the league. You're a great drafter. Like I said, you put in the work. You always like to help people, and to see you go all the way in the mega draft, you're well deserved, well earned, and couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. First Austrian win, I think. I hope. Don't say I'm wrong, Lotta. I want this to be true.
Let's find out together.
we
Let's
will.
get fact checked.
Again, thank you so much for coming on, and good luck in Pioneer Masters with your 5-0 start. We might be seeing you back up in another top 8 sooner than we think, right? Wow.
Let's see how it goes.
Good luck out there, Matthias.
Thank you very much.
That's right, our first Austrian league winner. I'm pretty sure, you can fact check me, Lotta, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Congratulations. Big congratulations. I love it when people outside of America and Canada win. It proves that this is like a worldwide tournament, and we have strong players all over the world. It's so cool. It's such a fun bonus of what we do that isn't forefront a lot of the time. And I don't know. And again, Matthias puts in the work. He's always doing stuff on the server. He's always streaming his drafts. So happy for Matthias. And he's doing great in Pioneer Masters, starting off 5-0, right now sitting in top 16. I did some practices with him. I played some practices for next week, and it's scary. What he's doing is scary, I'll tell you that. Can't wait to see what his emote and sound clip is. I don't know how many people haven't done emotes and sound clips, but I feel like we're due. We're really, I feel like we're behind. We're way behind. I don't know what's going on with them. But here's the thing. If it's going to be a fun server thing, you guys got to do it. If no one ever does it and it stops happening, then it's not a fun thing for us to achieve. Make your name be heard. Put it in an emote. Make your voice into a sound emoji, your favorite movie clip, part of a song. I don't know. You can figure it out. But get your stuff out there and get it in, because you earned it, right? Let us know. Let us have that remembrance of who you are. I want to see what your emoji is. And that's going to do it for the show this week. Sign up for Richard's featured matches. Sign up for the side events. I know Johnny just did a Pioneer pod draft. Other people are planning. I think they're trying to play in a Roto, an old Roto. That sounded really cool. Again, there's stuff out there. If you're not a part of it, if you're not seeing something you like, put up your own thing. Put up your own side event, and more people will come. They fill up all the time. I just love it. I love seeing it. Congrats to Bionic for winning the fantasy football side event. AG NFL Muddle the Mixon. He has gotten a trophy, and just want to let everyone know he is best of the best. Destroyed everybody all year. All right, well, I hope you get to keep a good 7. We're going into week 3. Get your deck built right. It's Commander rules. Don't get caught playing weird cards. I got a red lesson. I'm not playing red. I got to take that thing out of my sideboard just because I might accidentally click on it. You haven't done lessons yet? My computer freezes for 45 seconds the first time I go for a lesson, and I'm always really worried Magic is just crashing forever. And I hope that Shuffler is in your favor, because that's what you need here. We're going into week 3. You want to start getting those wins. You want to start breaking apart from the pack, or maybe you want those losses to fill out your deck. But whatever you want, the Shuffler needs to be helping you out. And we'll see everybody here next week. Bye, everybody.